Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The Swedish Championship in the Monster Energy Dreamhack Studios. Myself, Rel, and Momo are going to be guiding you through all of these games. We're incredibly excited to see what's going to happen as the heavy favourites Orbit go up against Grenadas. I mean,
I'm excited to see. You predicted a 3-0. I've gone a little bit more in favour of Grenadas because I kind of sneak a map out of them. I'd be, quite disappointed if it's 3-0. But Orbit looking very, very strong. We're going to be going into Detroit Hardpoint first. You can see the guys from here. All warming up there. They look very composed. I mean, this is new to them. As you say, they were playing for fun. Abed, he was kind of almost just a bit too casual for my liking, really.
Well, this is a thing that can sometimes work in your favour. Pressure changes how people perform. Sometimes it can make them perform extremely well, but sometimes they can crack under it and make mistakes that they wouldn't otherwise be making. So it's going to go one of two ways for Grenadas. There could be somewhat of an upset here, but as this is now a single elimination and we are in the semi-finals, it's certainly all to play for. Very, very exciting stuff. Who is going to come out Swedish champions? Who's going to find themselves to that grand final here and have the opportunity to play for 20,000 Swedish kronas and their spot in the Nordic Championship? 7th of June. What a date to look forward to.
I know, yeah. The Nordic Championship, obviously this, to be crowned Swedish champions, fantastic. To go over to there and represent Sweden in obviously the Nordic region and obviously to progress to Dreamhack. I mean, that's the main goal. The big question is, can Grenadas or can Orbit actually make it that, the whole way?
Yes, and there is still a lot of work to do for both of these teams. All to play for. As I said, I'm expecting each of these rounds to be close. Whilst I'm favouring Orbit, I know that Grenadas are going to put up a good fight. You told me, Momo, in those open games in the pool play, they came up clutch. A 6-5 victory on the final map of Search and Destroy was make or break for them. So they fought long and hard. They've qualified through the online qualifiers, through pool play, and they've earned their spot here almost more than anyone.
Absolutely. We're going to be jumping into Detroit Hardpoint is the first map. I'm going to say, well, let's jump on board with Orbit, team captain Antti straight away. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he's going to lead his squad going into this. I spoke with Nixon before the game. He said, Detroit Hardpoint is their best hardpoint map, so I would like nothing but Orbit to just storm this. However, can the boys from Grenadas put up a fight?
All right, well, let's see if it's all talk or if they can perform here, opening things up there. Model getting the first kill. Remember, whilst playing under the Orbit tag, he is representing Grenadas. Still on board with Antti as we see some big slaying work go down from Orbit around the central hardpoint.
Absolutely. Antti just slaying. This is what I mean about Antti, and the best thing about him is he's not too focused on jumping on the hardpoint straight away. He's more composed, getting those kills, getting that map control, and setting up for his team. Currently 5-0. Antti going off right now.
Oh, he's on an absolute rampage, still alive. He's not getting in the thick of it, but this supporting fire that he's providing is just making it oh so easy for Orbit to secure some points. He's got to breach in there, though, because Grenadas fighting back. Now we can see Mortal still in that hardpoint area.
Yeah, level at 15 to 14 with a minute gone now. They're going to be in the rotation. It's going to be quite key to see here, Grenadas especially, how they rotate and try and win over this, this rotation. Nixon not having the best of games, but Antti going strong on 8-1 right now, Rel.
Yeah, and we're going to get on board with Antti once again. We saw him doing some great slaying work as we go over to the green hardpoint. He finds one, trying to find a second, and there's the melee to take down Mini. He does get shut down, though, and that hardpoint is just about going to fall into Orbit control.
Absolutely. 32 to 16, double their points right now. 8 minutes and 30 coming up very shortly. I mean, we're only a minute and 30 into this game, and Rel, how exciting is this to start with?
Well, there's just this heavy skirmish that's been ensuing. It's going back into around this hardpoint area, and whilst Orbit were going into Detroit hardpoint very confident, there are going to be some nerves for them. They cannot get complacent with this, Momo.
Yeah, absolutely. Robsy's just taking that a little bit slower approach, staying back with his ASM1, does get taken down by Mini. Antti and Desui answering back with a few kills himself. Desui with a double kill there, and currently in the hardpoint with Antti.
Yeah, he's just going to soak up those final few points, and it's at stages like this where Grenadas will just think, you know what, there's no point pushing any further, but the score is just about level. Orbit only just striding ahead. It's a big catch-up from them, but who's quicker on the rotation?
Yeah, Orbit actually had quite a bit of a slow start, even though when Antti kicked it off about 8-1, the points just weren't there. However, they've stepped it up. You can see here on your screen, the guys from Grenadas going heavy. That's a two-piece for Dagger there. A D-Sweet answering back himself.
And now with Antti, we've talked about him being a big slayer, but hey, look at that, 13 to 3. What do you think of that, Momo?
I mean, it's just what you need for a team, and really confidence. This best of 5 series, Antti's really hotting up, and I said straight away, he's the team captain. We've seen him very confident confident on the mic up here, thinking 3-0, but his team needs to step it up with him.
Well, I've got to say, I think both ourselves and Orbit may have really underestimated Grenadas here, as things are pretty much level between these two teams. It is going to be Orbit that's once again soaking up those final points, to the point where it's almost time for Grenadas to give it up. They've probably got one final push here.
Yeah, I mean, only 10 seconds here. The key to Detroit hardpoint is the rotations. You've got to get the right spawn. You've got to be in the position to hold that hardpoint down. Anti going for these scrap points here, and he's going to get them. 5 points again, going in favor for the guys on Orbit. They're going to extend their lead now to 20 points. Looking good for them. Nixon going into the second hardpoint. He's going to get taken down. That's going to go in favor of Grenadas.
Yeah, and it was actually Dagger there doing some great work, as we can see them setting up in yellow and securing the first points. And I've got to say, rotation-wise, Grenadas looking the stronger team. I mean, every single time we're seeing Grenadas get there first, Orbit finally breaching and soak up the final few points, the scrap points that are remaining, but it may not be enough. However, Anti really turning up once again, picking up a back-to-back kill.
I honestly can't believe what I'm seeing right now. There's 23 kills on the board for Anti already. He is leading his squad to victory. There is 6 minutes and 30 left on the clock. Rel, we're in for basically like a 50 or 60 bomb right now.
I've got to say, it may have just switched over there, but Anti currently has the same amount of kills as the rest of his team combined. That is a phenomenal performance here. He's really turned up, and Orbit striding ahead on this yellow hardpoint. Grenadas fighting back. We can see Grenadas himself actually pick up some points there. Had to breach, push out for the kill, and the rotation going to be going down.
Yeah, you can see there on your mini-map, the rotation has gone in favor of Orbit. I like the way Orbit's, have kind of recognized what Grenadas are doing. They've gone for the rotation a bit earlier. They're going to control Skull here. Nixon pushing in with the ASM-1. Got to get the first point on the board there. Throwing his stuns out to gain control. Just setting up camp here, but he does know where the guys from Grenadas are coming. Does take down one. Can he take down the second? Just free fire. Nixon is going to get the support of his team, but gets taken down from the boys on Grenadas.
And I've got to say, I think this is where Orbit are showing their experience. They have just about been pushed out of School hardpoint, and this is a great surround that we can actually see by Grenadas. We can see Orbit trying to work those spawns in the favor, trying to find any kind of route in there, but Grenadas just have it locked down.
Yeah, Grenadas are really stepping up. I'm very impressed, especially with the hardpoint. I thought the Search and Destroy might be the game that they take. However, 97 to 101 right now. It is all level coming up to the second rotation. 5 minutes nearly got it in this. Anti currently in the hardpoint with his teammate, getting those scrap points, and 10 seconds left to go.
And let me just say something. We're just about halfway into this game. Anti has 30 kills. He could be on his way to a 60 bomb here. Ridiculous play from Anti. It's Mortal Low who is going to be getting the final 2 points there, and only 11 points separate these two teams.
Absolutely. Mortal doing great work. Nixon, wow. Nixon just kind of plows in there, gets the scrap points. It has rotated back to the Atlas building here. You're going to see teams fighting over it. Grenadas taking down one, backing off. He's going to go for the double kill. Doesn't secure that just yet. Nixon falls to him. However, I mean, Rel, can we please just jump on board with Anti for 1 second?
Gotta see him.
He is having the map of his life here. 33 and 12 right now. That is incredible.
Yeah, he's making it look very easy. And just a little bit more about Anti. He will always use the Ballon hardpoint and capture the flag. He does change things up when it comes to uplink, where he does prefer the ASM-1, but predominantly his role on his hardpoint is to provide that supportive fire. He's not particularly going objective, but he's doing huge slaying.
Yeah, and I've got to say, from the guys in Grenadas here, they've kind of slowed it down. They're at the same pace, only a 10-point game now. And, when a total of 240 points, a 10-point difference, that's phenomenal. Anti still extending his lead, 35 and 14. I like the way that Grenadas are really kind of seeing that he's the slaying ability. I can see Nixon's struggling a little bit, but I can see he's also playing the objective role, playing a bit of the dirty work, getting on those hard points for Orbit.
All right, well, we've seen a lot of Orbit. I want to see what's going on with Meanie here. He's top fragging footwell. He's top scorer in his team. 11 captures under his belt. Very objective-based play here from Mini. Does get shut down in green. And once again, Momo, that score has switched over. This is still all to play for.
Yeah, Nixon with a fantastic three-piece there. 136 to 135. Gonna even it up now with 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. This is anyone's game, and I am so surprised. I thought Orbit would come out so dominant. On your screen, Dagger is, extending their lead. This is everyone's game to play.
And what's quite interesting to note here is Grenadas quite evenly distributed in terms of performance, but I've got to say, Orbit hanging in here, largely thanks due to Anti and his huge slaying work for his team. We're going to stay on board with Grenadas a little longer. I want to see what's going on with Dagger now. Does get shut down just as I switch over, and that was temporarily 4 down against Grenadas.
You've got to say, though, looking at that rotation, it's going in favor of Grenadas. Yes, Orbit was in control of that last hill, and he's going to get the scrap points, but with only 3 hills left to go now, it is in favor of Grenadas. They have got this garage point. Orbit Anti is trying trying to continue to slay, nearly hitting a 40 bomb. You know, if Anti manages to lose this game with that slaying ability, he will be very disappointed.
He certainly will. And, you know, we were speaking to Gordo, the leader, the head manager of Orbit themselves, and he knows there's a lot of pressure on these guys to perform, but I think him more than the players themselves are going to be very disappointed if they don't actually take the Swedish championship. I mean, everyone's backing them, and Grenadas proving here that they are, you know, they are touchable.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, Grenadas, they've come through the open bracket, they've come through group play, they're now here at the studios in, you know, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to prove they are the Swedish champions. Anti and Rob's combining with a couple of kills themselves. They're going to take the lead right now. You know, only 2 minutes left on the clock. This is going to go down to the wire in the last hill, I can tell you right now, Rel.
Well, Orbit, once again, making a push. It's actually Rob's picking up a big 2-piece, followed up by Desui, and this is where the lead really does extend. A notable difference now. There was only 11 points separating the teams at the half-time, or the 5-minute interval. Grenadas again on the rotation.
Yeah, Grenadas on the rotation, but Orbit with their slaying power are just kind of saying, no, they're shutting them down, they're jumping in there like this. Grenadas had the rotation, but Orbit are just a bit too strong for them. Nixon really stepped it up in this second half of the game, got a double kill under his name. He's going to spot one more. He's going to get taken out. Nixon and Rob's combining amazingly there.
Oh, yeah, great teamwork from them. You could argue that they've been somewhat of a duo so far in this hardpoint. Let's keep on board with one of the Orbit members here. We've seen a lot of Anti. I want to see a little bit more of Rob's, because currently he's got the most points for his team. He's the most balanced player going into this. And look at this point difference now, Momo. That minimal difference between them, almost negligible, has completely gone away. Orbit have just strode ahead when it came to this yellow hardpoint.
Yeah, Orbit have stepped it up. Their experience has shone through, and they are going to take this map if they continue doing what they're doing. Dagger is doing everything he can to stop him, but the contestation coming in from Orbit is going to stop them. I mean, there's a 40-point difference now with only 55 left on the clock. He's going to rotate into the school. You know, Grenadas have to take every single point here.
They've got to do it. They have no other choice, and they're doing a great job so far. This is still possible, Momo. Dagger's going to have to go big. He does get shut down. Orbit breaching once again. It's Desui with a melee kill, and it looks like that may just be it for this hardpoint for Grenadas. Still fighting valiantly on, but I think it's all she wrote. Anti so close to the 50 bomb, Momo.
Yeah, 30 seconds left to go. Let's jump on board with Anti. Let's see if he can get this 50 bomb. He does get taken down. He's going to have one more chance at that, but I think it's going to go, unfortunately, the opposite way. He will be very, very happy with the victory. But what a performance. I've got to say, Nixon steps up in the second part with 10 captures for his team. Now going positive. Anti nearly dropping that 50 bomb. Absolutely incredible. It's 10 seconds left to go. Can he get a miraculous 3-piece? He isn't going to make it, but he's going to get one more capture for his team.
Wow, and what a first game to kick things off. Let's just take note of that scoreline there. 238 to 207. And Grenadas really surprised me there. I thought that was, if there was any game mode that was going to go heavily in one of the team's favor, I would have thought it was hardpoint. You spoke to Nixon earlier. We even heard from Anti it would be an easy 3-0. And I think, as I said earlier, they may have underestimated Grenadas.
Absolutely. I think that might be a little bit of a wake-up call from the boys on Orbit. You know, like Nixon, he said, you know, Detroit hardpoint is potentially their best game mode and best map.
Yeah.
Now, to go down to the wire with a team that you may be a bit unfamiliar with, that's going to make them think, you know, hang on a second, guys. You know, these guys are here to contend. And yes, you know, Abed was a bit more casual in the interview. Maybe that was a few mind games himself.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's just have a quick recap of what we've just seen in that hardpoint. The scoreline 238 to 207 in favor of Orbit at the 5-minute interval. Only 11 points separated the two teams, and it really was just those final two hardpoints that won it for Orbit. I mean, that was neck and neck the whole way until then.
Yeah, and just to point out there, Orbit Anti 2.14 kill death ratio.
Oh boy.
I've got to say, you know, everyone put a big team. We spoke about Anti in his slaying, we spoke about Nixon in his objective work, but Desui was just an all-round you know, player. He did everything. Was killing, was making plays, was capturing, was defending. And it's got to say, you don't usually see that many defends in a game of hardpoint. I'm really surprised to see that. However, great first game. What a game to kick it off. Orbit from the guys from Grenadas. I'm excited to jump into the Search and Destroy, and I actually predicted Grenadas to take this next map.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting. Search and Destroy Riot is going to be the next game mode, and we are really looking forward to that. Before we go on to it, though, we are going to go to a very quick commercial break, so please do not go anywhere back home, because we've got a lot more Call of Duty action coming right up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Swedish Championship here in the Monster Energy Dreamhack Studios. Myself, Rel, and Momo guiding you through all of these games today in a very, very exciting tournament. 20,000 Swedish kronor on the line and a place or a position to play in the Nordic Championship as well. A lot riding on it for these teams. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, the first game we've just seen Hardpoint Detroit go down to the wire. Orbit take that for you guys just joining us at home on your screen there. Nixon stepped it up in the second half, really played his objective kind of base game and secured his team the victory. However, you know, can Grenadas answer back in this Search and Destroy on screen? Mini here, you know, we saw in the pre-game interview, Abed, he said Mini was the player to watch, so I'm going to be going on board with him straight away, seeing what different kind of strategies he has and see what he can bring to the team.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how they're doing this because, you know, as you said, Momo, if you thought there was any game mode they might be able to take from Orbit, it was going to be Search and Destroy, but if they can put up a performance like that on Hardpoint, who knows what they can do here. This is, of course, a best-of-5 series, so still all to play for both of these teams, and it could get very, very tense. Search and Destroy, one of my personal favorites to watch.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Search and Destroy is one, you know, to watch as a spectator when you've only got one life and you know it's all or nothing. It sometimes can go down to, you know, 1v2, 1v3 clutches, and I'm excited to see that, especially from the guys on Grenadas. I've tipped them. I'm with these guys for this one. I know you're with Orbit. We're going to see how this plans out. But what a stellar performance from the guys.
Let's mention Antti.
Both of them.
Tell me about Antti.
I mean, we spoke about Antti. He was up here. He was very confident, saying 3-0, everything like that. And from his performance, I can see why. You know, 47, 48 kills, I think it was on the first game. That's something that's just unheard of, really, in Respawn.
Well, this is the thing. Antti usually would play a more objective-based role, but for that particular hard point, he sat back. I think it's the only game mode where he will switch things up. He sits back, he provides supportive fire, and he just goes heavy slay. There's no need for him to push into the objective because his teammates are working around him. It really works well for Orbit, and it really, really did pay off for them as the final scoreline went 238 to 207. And we discussed the fact it was only those final two hard points that really separated those teams. Up until that point, it was just switching back and two.
Absolutely. It was neck and neck all the way, and that's what we love to see. You know, competitive players at the best. It's such a close game, and if we can see the same in Search and Destroy, maybe we could be seeing a 5-5 round 11, Rel. That's what I want to see. I want to see some maybe 1v2s, 1v3s, but I'm just kind of torn. I've said it already. I'm going with the guys in Grenadas, and I'm sticking with it. I'm excited to see Mini. I'm excited to see Mini in this Search and Destroy.
Well, they did actually clutch up when it came down to qualifying for the semi-final here. It was 6-5 final map Search and Destroy to find their place up against Orbit here and competing for that grand prize. It is going to be Riot Search and Destroy. You're absolutely right, and it's going to be a great map to actually go through here. So just going over the players here, anyone? And I think you mentioned Mini. You wanted to start off with, is that right?
We're going to jump aboard with the attacking team, of course. First of all, Mini is, you know, I want to watch Mini, I want to watch Mortal. I mean, that's nothing taken away from the other guys, but these are the guys that I've heard on Grapevine. They're pretty good at Search and Destroy.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. And as an ex-professional Call of Duty player yourself, Momo, you've played Advanced Warfare in tournaments. Do you prefer the attack or defense when it comes to Search and Destroy?
I really think, you know, attack or defense is all about getting that first pick. You know, whatever side you're on, if you can get that first pick, it's all about that. However, the bomb has gone down. Mortal has planted that bomb. Grenadas does get taken out. Antti, great performance in the hard point, picking up the first blood for his teammates on Orbit. 3 versus 4 in favour of the guys on Orbit. Mortal's going to come up against one. Decides to back off. Bit of a strange one there. Looking like he's going for the flank with only 30 seconds left to go, Rel.
Yeah, and sometimes, even though they are at a man disadvantage here, because they have the objective placed down, that bomb is planted, you could argue they're in a more advantageous position here. 2 versus 3 now, and we see another gunfight ensue. Mini is going to come out on top. 2 versus 2, and it's all going down now. Desui going up against Mortal.
Yeah, Desui's in a very hard position with only 10 seconds left. In fact, I've got to say, Mortal's played this very, very well. He's played the time, and he knows that he can defuse. He's going to poke out here. Mortal just checking the bomb. Desui actually getting...
wow.
I expected better from Desui, but wow, what a performance from Mortal straight away. And again, Mini, I did say, I think he picked up 2 kills in that round, which was a very good play.
And I've got to say, I think what really won that round for Grenadas was the early plant. They just pushed straight for it. I don't think Orbit were ready for such an aggressive push. We saw 3 players actually go to that bomb site and just lock it down. There was only one who was sat up top. So interesting strategies, and this is something we talked about in the pre-show. Grenadas, almost an unknown entity to Orbit. You know, they've competed against each other. I know the players have played against each other online, but as a full team, Grenadas haven't been together all that long.
Yeah, you know, a new team, like you said, Rel, and as you can see, the guys on Orbit going for such an aggressive play here on the bomb site. Mini, once again, stepping up, 3 kills already to his name in only round number 2. Desui has seen one. He's giving chase, and he's going to go for the melee. No, he doesn't. Make sure he gets the safe kill, and it is now all level. Grenada answering back with another kill for himself, and I can't even keep Track Grenada is going off right now.
Well, it's all down to Robs with that Morse, and he's going to get shut down as well. Grenadas looking really, really strong on this Search and Destroy. 2-0 already. And we talked about mind games as well. Bryce actually mentioned it when he was going through the player interviews. When you go a round down or a map down in a best-of-5 series, how does that mentally affect you?
You've got to kind of forget about it, but when there's so much on the line and it's only a best-of-5, you know you've got to win 3 games of the 4 which are left, which is a very tough ask. But, you know, from speaking as an ex-professional player, but also speaking from other professional players' point of view, what you do have to think of now is just this map. Yeah. You know, these guys, they're already 2-0 up, they can bring this back, and if they win this, it's just a best-of-3, but the same strategy, going for that quick plant once again, enabling his extra abilities there. The plant is going to go down 1 minute 50, more 2-0. 2 plants for his name. Great performance so far. Orbit
have been caught off guard twice now with that. They had no idea Mortal was going for the plant. He is going to get shut down by Robs, though. So once again, number advantage does go towards Orbit. This is finally an opportunity for them to actually reclaim a round back and try and lower that difference. Very easy kill for Grenadas. Does need to stay alive. Finds a second one. Isn't going to be able to make that kill. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. 2 versus 2. Mini and Grenadas combining. Once again, only 20 seconds and no one is on the bomb here. I've got to say, Grenadas and Mini for a 2 versus 4, they can pull this off, but Disweet answering back. Mini goes down. Grenadas potentially could get the ace right now.
He's got to check the bomb. Diffused. It's the only way that he can stop this, and he does manage to get the bomb diffuser. That means there is not enough time. There's nothing that Disweet can do. So even though, once again, they had that man advantage, such strategic, tactical play there from Grenadas has just won that round.
I mean, literally, that was all him. He made only 3 of the 4 kills.
It's so well.
He killed 2 people diffusing, you know, the bomb. He made, no, the bomb plant obviously was someone else, but wow, what a performance from him. I've got to say, it is 3-0 right now. These guys are showing why they are a Search and Destroy. You know, they're very good at Search and Destroy. They're coming into it. And Orbit, you know, maybe panicking a little bit right now.
Yeah, so I've got to once again compliment Grenadas there. Huge play for that round of Search and Destroy. And 3-0 already, not dropping a single round. It's going to be Nixon, though, that opens up with first blood. In terms of slaying, Orbit just seemed to have that advantage. But when it comes to clutching up, that's Grenadas' speciality.
Absolutely. 3 versus 3. Rob's going to engage in a battle in the middle of the riot here. He's going to have to reload. Looks like his enemies has backed off. This is going down to, I mean, 3 versus 3 is anyone's game right now. Robs and his teammates are flanking. It looks like they're going for a B push, which could be, you know, could work for them in favour of Orbit.
This is interesting. So traditionally you would see these A pushes because it's just easier bomb site to reach. You see the early rush, but 2 kills go in favour of Grenadas. Disweet all on his own now against 2. And oh, dearie me, Orbit are just crumbling here.
I've got to say, Mini's shot was just on point there. He got, you know, the bullet into himself first, and he answered back. He didn't miss a bullet. Takes him down. Disweet in a 1 versus 2 has been spotted. He's taken so much damage, but he's still alive somehow. Finally gets shut down. 4-0 in favour of Grenadas. I've got to say, I'm very, very impressed with him here in the Swedish Championships Call of Duty. I'm just so excited to kind of go into this. I know I kind of predicted that they'd be good at Search and Destroy, but I didn't know they'd be this good, Rel.
I just love the way that almost in synchronization they all took a swig of that Monster. It was like, round done, drink, let's go.
Monster, get it down, round of 5.
Next round, let's get into it. And it is going to be Grenadas that we start off. We always like to spectate the sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, it is Grenadas that we're going to start off watching. Always like to spectate the attacking side, provides the more aggressive gameplay and most entertaining to watch. And once again, they're just sticking to what they know here.
They are. I do like the fact that Orbit have almost adapted to it and they're going to go for the straight flank, but Mini knows exactly what Robs is trying to do and does take down Robs. Is he going to get the double kill? He sees Nixon. Going to get taken down. Great shot from Nixon there. 3 versus 3. The bomb has been planted. This is anyone's game, but 4-0 so in favour of the guys from Grenadas here. Mortal just making his way around. He's going to play a little bit slower than usual. Grenadas, everyone's kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah, they've really slowed the pace down. This is only going to work in favour of Grenadas because every second that ticks away, it just puts them in a better position. Nixon is going to be left, Maul is going to be left all on his own against both Disweet and Nixon. And Maul needs to make this kill. He's not going to be able to do it, and that bomb is going to get defused unless he cannot. And that's so unfortunate. We could see him emptying a lot of ammunition into him there, but it just wasn't enough to pick up that kill. It was a really difficult angle.
I mean, I think he had a very good spot there. I think he was very unlucky to not pick that kill up, dash away, and get out of there. I like the way that he set up. Didn't pay off for him, unfortunately. It looked like Nixon had some extra armor on somehow, but I think he was just 1 shot away from being taken away. Disweet 8-3. Let's jump on board with DC. Let's see what he's doing right for his team and see if he can pick up from a 4-1 deficit.
Okay, well, it's the traditional A bomb push. Very, very fast push here from Disui. He's got himself into a dangerous position as he goes right around the flank. It's a difficult ask for him to make that shot with an ASM-1, so I think he was quite wise to actually back off from that challenge.
Yeah, very, very wise, I'd say. Disui, obviously a good search and destroy play, knows how to play this, plays this on previous Call of Duty titles, and now here, the Call of Duty Swedish Championship. Nixon, on your screen, ball in hand. I like the way they've set up about A, but the good thing about Grenadas is they get that bomb down straight away. The bomb just seems to be lingering a bit with Orbit.
Yeah, I mean, it's Anti who's got to make the move, and he's very hesitant to do so. He's not in the best of positions here, maybe to pick up a kill, but certainly not to work that objective, because, as you saw, he just had to dash across the line of sight. He has managed to conceal himself, though, now, and that bomb, once again, is going to get planted. So it is Anti, the designated bomb carrier for Orbit. You will see that time and time again. Only one kill made so far in this round, Momo.
Yeah, with only 30 seconds left on the clock. Mini picking up a kill, making it 3 versus 3. Anti must know where he is. Mini's in search of the guys from Orbit. Gonna have to reload, and it looks like he's gonna come up 1 versus 1. He's gonna get some damage, does get taken down. Great shot from Disui once again. 2 versus 2. Daggy trying to answer back 1 versus 2. Let's jump on board with Anti. Let's see if he can pull this off with only 17 seconds left to go.
All he's got to do is prevent that defuse for long enough. It is going to be going down, though, now, and here is the push. Great play, and that is... Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be really, really close. I can't call it.
Away.
Dagger, are you going to clutch up here? 1 second left on the clock, and does just about manage to get that defuse somehow with a fraction of a second left. We do once again see Grenadas come out on top, and that's going to be so frustrating for Orbit. They could have brought that back to 4-2.
Yeah.
Instead, it's 5-1 due to a fraction of a second.
Honestly, he was pressing those buttons fast to defuse that bomb. I mean, that's pressure that is right there. He was not only to pick up the kill, but to get on that bomb and start defusing straight away. 5-1 now. Rel, I mean, we've played Call of Duty in the past. You know, when you're 5-1 down, you've got to win 5 rounds back to back, and you just go take first blood. Nixon gets taken down. How do you do that?
Oh, it's as you said with the previous rounds, previous maps. You've just got to forget about it. Play 1 round at a time. Looking at this round now, not looking too shabby for Orbit though. It is 3 versus 2. Grenadas hasn't made that bomb plant just yet, and this is the only real time you'll see players switch up to the alternative bomb site. It's not the favored one. It is quite difficult to get that bomb planted down there, but as Mini does even out things to a 2v2, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out.
Mini is playing very, very well. I like the fact that both teams have actually stuck together. The bomb is going to be planted. 45 seconds on the clock for Orbit to defuse this. Grenadas dodging away there. He's got to challenge him. 1 versus 1. Can Grenadas end this right here, right now? Yes, he does. That is 6-1. Wow, what a game of search and destroy, Rel.
That was so one-sided, and I've got to say, really unexpected. I mean, when we were making our predictions, I was saying it was going to be close between these two teams. I thought Orbit would go for most likely get the 3-0 sweep against Grenadas, but I thought that Grenadas would hold their own. I was thinking, much like the hardpoint game we saw earlier, there would possibly be just that narrow difference. In the end, it was only a 31 points difference between the two teams, but that search and destroy was almost a complete whitewash. There was only the 1 round that Orbit managed to take, and they could have quite easily lost that. When we actually saw, I can't remember which Grenadas player it was, but he was in that very sneaky position to kill a bomb carrier.
Oh yeah, and I mean, what a play. I mean, I don't like to, blow my own trumpet a little bit, but I predicted Grenadas would take that search and destroy, Rel.
You did.
But what a game we've got in our hands. It's 1-1 currently. We'll be going into a minimum of 4 maps. So to see these guys, play for a bit of fun, play through the open, play through the pool play, and then potentially play the best Swedish team here, could they take this? Could they, cause a big upset?
It is the true underdog story if Grenadas managed to pull this off. It's got to be said. I mean, we actually saw in the pre-match interviews, they were saying, we just play for fun. It's just a casual game for us, whereas Orbit more serious, more competitive-minded. They'll be thoroughly disappointed, especially if they don't make it to the grand final itself. So 2 great maps that we've seen so far, a very close hardpoint, 238 to 207, followed by a completely dominated search and destroy, which was 6-1 to Grenadas.
Yep.
Momo, it's going to be uplink comeback next. We are going to go to a very quick break before we get on to that. You guys do not want to go anywhere.
Peggy 18.
Lilith shot her first gun that day.
It's jammed.
Heads up.
Khan got his hands dirty for the first time in his life. And Decker enjoyed it all a little too damn much. We should have died right then and there. We were lucky.
Hello, welcome to Burger Town.
But our luck was running out.
Finally, got the good gear. Help me! They're everywhere! Get to the Warbird.
This is Eagle 1. Survivor's waiting for his escort.
Let's move it. Nothing's gonna survive that.
Stay clear of the acid pools.
What is this?
Nice job down there. I'll take it from here.
We're cut off.
What the hell happened here?
Looks to me like Atlas happened. They excel at fucking shit up.
That's Goliath-class armor.
Oh, man.
That can't be good.
Get the Ascendance DLC pack and all Call of Duty Advanced Warfare DLC packs for one great low price with the Season Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Monster Energy Dreamhack Studios. You are joining myself, Rel, and Momo here for the Swedish Championship. We are trying to find the strongest Swedish team out there who will go on and fight their way through the Nordic Championship on the 7th of June. A lot to play for. Momo, talk about what we've just seen so far in this best-of-5 series between Orbit and Grenadas.
Kicking it off straight away, we had Hardpoint Detroit, which went down to those last two Hardpoint.
Yep.
It's so even. However, your boys from Orbit took that, the experience showed through. They took that 238 to 207. However, answering back Grenadas in map number 2, we saw a 6-1, very, very dominant search and destroy. And I've got to say, you know, they look very good at search and destroy. There's another search and destroy coming up potentially, Rel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, search and destroy makes up 2/5 of a best-of-5. Yep. So they do say search and destroy wins you championships. And I've got to say as well, including all the games that I saw from pool play, that was probably the most convincing search and destroy victory so far. Even the one round that they let slip could have quite easily gone into Grenadas' favor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're going to be seeing an uplink comeback. Now, we spoke about Hardpoint and people's favorite maps.
Yep.
We spoke to Nixon pre-tournament, both myself and you as well, and he kind of said uplink's their game mode. You know, they're good at comeback uplink. This potentially was a series that they were, you know, very confident to take this 3-0. We saw Anti in the pre-game interview, but uplink comeback. I've not seen this Grenada team play, Uplink. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Well, you know, they've surprised us a little bit there on the search and destroy. And as you said, when we were actually, you know, doing our research on the teams, one thing that collectively Orbit agreed on was that individually, not just as a combination of the two, Comeback was the favorite map and Uplink was the favorite game type. So with that said, you've got to favor them going into this. I mean, you can kind of see the look of frustration there that was on Nixon's face.
Yeah,
and
Desui not too happy.
Disappointed. You've got to be disappointed. Any team would be after a 6-1 defeat on Search and Destroy, regardless of your position within the community and where you feel you should be winning. So I think they've just got to forget about that. This is essentially coming down now to a best of 3. Those 2 first maps are out of the way. Things very, very close between these guys, and I think it's going to be a lot narrower than both myself, you, and a lot of people back home were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were saying about the frustration. I mean, I think obviously from the point of like Anti coming up here is so confident being about 3-0, you know, to take a map and, you know, in that fashion, 6-1, you know, it'll be almost, you know, yeah, a little bit embarrassing. But the guys here, Grenadas, you know, just laughing, you know, having some fun. This is what it's all about, playing Call of Duty, having some fun.
And I've got to say, this is a crucial thing now. You could see the looks on Orbit's faces. Despite the fact that things are tied up and even, Grenadas really happy. They're enjoying it. They're probably going to play better as a result of that. Whereas Orbit, the heads have dipped, and they've just got to be careful now because they're going on to the favorite game mode and game type. And if they start slacking, it could really cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Dagger on your screen straight away. I like the way he's using EMP straight off the bat. He's going to have a 1-1 ASN 1 fight with Anti. Gets the better of him, and the satellite drone is in favor of Grenadas straight away.
And it is going to be a very, very quick 2-point carry capture after only 15 seconds on the clock. Grenadas coming out of the blocks hot.
Absolutely, 2-0. That was not only a capture, but a carry capture, like you said. Nixon trying to answer back, getting a few kills himself, but Dagger has the drone in hand, gets taken down by Anti. Anti, I've got to say, over the period of, you know, these 3 maps so far, he's been playing very, very well for Orbit.
I mean, that first map on the hard point, it was either 47, 48 kills, almost a 50 bomb for him. So in terms of slaying ability, definitely one to watch. We know he's the objective player in Search and Destroy, as he is here in Uplink. And they've just managed to secure 1 point back, so Orbit still finding their way back into this game. This is something about Orbit, actually, when we were speaking to them. We know that Grenadas are this aggressive team. They'll just constantly push.
Yeah.
They'll constantly challenge, even when they may be at a disadvantage to pick up the kill. But Orbit are very tactical in their approach. They'll try and push out hard early, but then go for the counters.
Yeah, as you can see straight on your screen there, Orbit answering back 3-2 now in favor of them with the carry capture. Rob's already with that in play. He's 5-1 right now, Rob's going absolutely off. Desui trying to go for the carry capture. Doesn't get taken down, and it looks like Grenadas mini himself getting a drone out. I think he was actually a tactical pass to his teammate.
Oh boy, that was a great throw. Mortal did manage to collect it, but it's going to go back into the hands of Nixon now. A lot of support from his teammates. All of Grenadas getting shut down. This should be an easy 2 points now. And no, it has been denied at the final second, and he does just about get captured there.
Yeah, that just going. Nixon was so close to making the carry capture himself, but his teammate sweeps in, gets the dunk himself, and 5-2. I mean, this is, you know, so hectic here. Yes. So many kills going down, but, you know, the points on the board, 7 points on the board already with only 2 minutes left to go. This is some serious objective play from both teams.
Oh yeah, let's give some credit to both of these teams' attack, because it is absolutely sensational to watch them just throwing themselves in there and coming out on top every time. One thing that both these teams need to be working on is their defense, though. Orbit say that they go for the counter, and Grenadas need to be aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's adapting to the style of plays as well. Nixon gets taken down there. Mini with a kill himself. He's going to go for the throw. Doesn't get that off, and the drone is still in play. 2 minutes 30 on the clock, halfway through this first round. Dagger going for the throw. Is that going to bounce in? Yes, it does. Wow, what a throw.
Oh yeah, he almost went vertical there. It was the only way to get the trajectory to secure that 1 point for them. Only one single carry capture is separating both these teams, as Dagger just opening it up and tearing Orbit apart. And look at that now. Great sling from Dagger, allowing that channel for Grenadas to push through. 5-5.
Yeah, I've got to say, though, even though Dagger had no involvement with getting those captures in, all he was doing just slaying around the Orbit base, and the drone is going into the Orbit base once again. However, Swedish trying to get out there. He is exoed. He cannot even see where he's going, but he's still alive somehow with this drone. He's going to play that out with a tactical throw.
And, you know, I don't know if that was the wise move. Things really did open up for him. I think he just got a bit panicked, and this is where Orbit are starting to finally realize Grenadas are a team to be reckoned with. They are holding their own, and this is still all to play for as the teams, once again, much like the hard point, inseparable.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so close. I mean, these teams, we went in and we said Orbit was the favorite, but as the drone gets played in, doesn't get captured there. He's going to be a bit of limbo. Mortal's going to pick that up. He's got to get that out straight away. He does have a teammate supporting him. He's going to get shot from the left-hand side, dodging with that armor so well. And 3 kills in favor of them. Could Mortal extend and get the lead here for boys on Grenadas? He does.
He's going to do it, and this is looking like the fall of Orbit. This was their favorite game mode. It was their favorite map. They are trailing by 2 points. We can see the throws being played as well.
Interception from Robs there. Not only on 14 and 9, like Desui, his teammate, interception comes into play. That was such a key play, because that would have made it a 3-point game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that single point can be all the difference when it comes to uplink as well. I'm staying with Anti here. We saw big plays from him on the hard point and consistent plays on the search and destroy. Maybe starting to slack a bit here. This is where we see Anti switch things up and start using the ASM-1.
Yeah, I've just seen on the minimap what a pass that was straight into the base of Grenadas. 7-7 with only 30 seconds left to go. Could we see a final capture and someone take the lead going into round number 2, where they will swap sides here on comeback uplink? Desui is trying to extend that lead, does have the drone in hand, taking some damage. His team's coming in. He's got to go for it all on his own. I think he should have played for the throw there, Rel.
Yeah, he maybe should have just exo shifted to the right and gone for a quick throw, trying to secure a point, but all of Orbit did get shut down. This is going to be the final push now. It was Grenadas with the drone in hand, but it has been dropped. It's going to go... Oh, it's actually Robs who's gone for the collection. This is the only opportunity for one more final point, Momo.
He is going to get exoed and shot at the same time with only 4 seconds left to go. I don't think he's going to be able to get the throw. He's going to throw. Nixon's going to make that. Yes, he does, with 0.1 second left on the clock. Nixon goes into round number 2 with the lead. That was so hectic. It was so hard to follow. I think we did okay, but you can see here, action replay. Nixon, as time ticked away, was a rebound as well off the wall and into the portal.
And, you know, that one single capture point could make all the difference. We are going to be going on to the second side. Very much like the hard point, neck and neck between both of these teams. Grenadas, I've got to say, they opened up so strong. It was 15 seconds for their first 2-point capture, carry capture. Orbit answered right back, but then it just seemed to be consistent Grenadas pressure.
Yeah, I've got to say, it was just neck and neck and back and 2. People getting the difference. Nixon's answered very strongly into round number 2, extending the lead straight away. Great thing about Nixon there, 9 and 16, not having the best kill death ratios, but he just went in, didn't even care about killing it, picked it up, played a few dodges, and got that point. However, 2 points in the lead. Orbit currently taking that away.
And this is where Grenadas have to start making some decisions. Do they try and play it safe and go for the throw points, or do they go for the carry captures? Well, it's going to be Nixon, who does get shut down just next to that uplink section. Mini, he's trying to find his way out, and he's very, very hectic here. This is going to be a counter.
Yeah, Mini actually taking a team kill there. The satellite drone is going to be played in. Honestly, I mean, this is so close quarter combat, and all these ASM-1s in one kind of arena, it's just so hard to follow. However, Nixon is trying to get a few kills on the board. Anti with a quick kill himself. Orbit trying to answer back and extend their lead from 9 to 8 with only 4 minutes left to go. Can he do it? Anti has the drone in hand, going for a bit of a diverse route. He's got to go for the dunk. Doesn't make that. Mortal playing a huge part in taking him down, but it looks like Nixon and the boys from Orbit are going to secure that 2-point play.
There we go, yeah. And I was going to say, maybe not the best decision-making from Orbit there, but it does eventually work in their favor. As you say, Mo, and it's now 3 points separating these two teams, so a carry capture wouldn't be enough. If Anti can extend that even further, Grenadas will be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Anti, that was a great throw. It didn't quite make it. However, Mini is trying to answer back. He makes up a kill himself, and it is still 11 to 8 in favor of the guys on Orbit. Dagger picks up the drone. He's going to have to make a play. He needs his team to support him in this glass area.
Though. I mean, you know, all players are spawning up. They've got a good defense in it, but Dagger could quite easily go for a throw now. The EMP, brilliantly timed. No one would have been able to intercept that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the EMP combined with this uplink game mode works hand in hand. Didn't pay off for him there. Robs is trying to extend his lead. Is the Inception going to come into play? No, but the drone is loose in the Grenadas base. They're going to get it out. Grenadas all over the kill feed there. Nixon answering back. And I honestly see with time ticking away, you know, Orbit are looking very strong here, Rel.
Particularly on this side, I would agree very much so. Grenadas trying to pull something special out of the bag. As he does move into glass, he's going to get shut down. Orbit bigging up their slaying game now, and Nixon's almost got an open route here. Nobody's going to be able to stop him, and that's going to be another carry capture as the scoreline does go 5-point net difference towards Orbit.
Yeah, Nixon with 6 uplinks to his names. Kills are coming in, now 20 and 20, doing everything he can for the guys on Orbit, extending their lead. Yeah, he's doing everything right now.
And this has just opened up
Nixon.
All routes for Orbit. And, you know, he was just causing so much havoc in the base of Grenadas. They couldn't set up any sort of defense. It's so difficult for for them, 15-8 now.
Yeah, I've got to say the inexperience of Grenadas is showing. Orbit really keeping calm and composed here in the studios. Nixon with the drone in hand. All Nixon is playing is objective, and I love that from him. He's going to go, and again, for the 2-point play, 17-18 right now. I'm not sure with only 2 minutes left on the clock whether Grenadas can come back from here.
Well, Ansi doing the smart thing there and just throwing that uplink drone out of play. Sure, that is a huge score difference that they have in their favor now, but that's no need to get careless. They've got to play this game as they have been so far if they want to take that win.
Absolutely, 1 minute 30. Dagger trying to get a point on the board. I mean, they were so strong in that first side, and it finished pretty much even at 8-7. However, they've only managed to secure 1 point in this second round.
Yeah, and this is a crucial point. As we switch the spawns, Orbit got onto their favored side. That is why they have managed to perform so well here, and that is certainly something that some teams will take advantage of. Even if they do struggle at the first half, they can really step things up now, as we're seeing from Orbit, who are just trying to close things out early. 19-8 is that scoreline. All of Orbit in Grenadas spawn.
Yeah, this is incredible. They're going to finish it out with 21 points. Wow, what a performance from the guys in Orbit. I've got to say, they looked very strong, and they pointed out come back uplink was their game mode, and going into that second side, they proved it there.
Yeah, I mean, let's just discuss something here, Momo. So the first side of that uplink was 8-7 towards Orbit, 1 point difference. The second side was 21-8, a huge difference. And when you look at that on paper, that's 13 points secured by Orbit and only 1 by Grenadas.
Yeah, I mean, the first round so close, second was so dominant. Whether that was the change of spawns, whether what that was Orbit was looking for, whether they wanted to just kind of keep it even the first side. However, this is a best of 5. You guys just joining us at home. Orbit have the lead in this best 5, 2-1 at the moment, with Grenadas taking that search and destroy.
And one thing that I've really got to highlight here, whilst it doesn't always come down to kill deaths, and it's not necessarily a kill dependent game mode, particularly uplink where you can see these sneaky routes. Every single player of Grenadas was negative there. They really struggled in the slaying department. 3 out of the 4 of the Orbit players all going positive. Just fantastic play, really, collectively as a team, and that's what's really got them that victory on the uplink. It was their favorite map, it was their favorite game mode, but there are still potentially 2 maps left to play in this best of 5 series, and Grenadas are still looking strong. We're going to go to a very quick break, but we'll be back with you guys very shortly.
Yo.
See you on your way? Yeah, man, I'm downtown.
Cool, man. Yeah, I've seen Civic Center, man. It's already packed. We've been posting all day.
Hello and welcome back to the Monster Energy Dreamhack Studios for the Swedish Championship here. Myself, Rel and Momo guiding you through these games. A great best of 5 series so far. Very close in some of these. Talk us through what's been going on, Momo.
Yeah, we've got obviously the hard point straight away was in favor of the guys on Orbit. It was very close, like you said, Rel, but going into Search and Destroy, so dominant from Grenadas, even it up things at 1-1. We've just seen Orbit storm their way through. Uplink come back 21-8. Such good fashion. Now, this could potentially be the last map of the series. We're going to be going on board with CTF, Capture the Flag on Biolab. Yeah. Now, this is a game which I'm quite interested to see. Now, we spoke to obviously Orbit pre-game. They didn't say CTF or Capture the Flag was their game mode. Whether the guys from Grenadas can catch them off guard, answer back, which they need to do to stay in this tournament, I'm hoping we see a Game 5.
It would be great to see it go to that. And I've got to say, judging off that previous Search and Destroy, if it does go to Game 5, I can see Grenadas taking it. The point I'm trying to make here is this Capture the Flag, to me, is going to determine who takes this series.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Rel. If Grenada can answer back, get some confidence, go into the Search and Destroy, as strong as they were on the first one on Raya, they could progress to the grand final here of the Swedish Championship.
And let me just go back to that uplink for 1 second here. So the first half of it would have potentially been 7-7. There was a final 1-point capture. I believe it was actually Nixon who secured it.
Yes, yeah.
It did take things to 8-7, but it was actually the second half where we really saw Orbit start standing out as they took a 21-8-point victory over Grenadas. And it was a complete whitewash, that second side. And I think this is something that I'm noticing so far about Grenadas. If they can maintain composure throughout the particular map, they can come out with a victory. They can do some severe damage, but if they let Orbit even get the slightest lead over them, then they just seem to crumble. You can see Rob's there. Smiles finally from the Orbit lineup as they do actually find themselves leading this best of 5 series and 1 map away from their spot in the grand final.
Yeah, I mean, they were predicted to be there. They're predicted to win that. However, at the moment, I think they've been quite surprised by the boys from Grenadas. Come here a little bit more casual, maybe not as prepared as Orbit. However, their game is on point right now.
All right, well, this is it. They've got to wake up now and get straight into this game because it is all to play for both of these teams. Grenadas, they have no more lifelines. Orbit do have that 1 map safety cushion, but should they let this Capture the Flag slip, they're going to be going up against a team that just on Search and Destroy that just beat them 6-1.
Yeah, from Orbit's point of view, you've got to be thinking we're closing this out and we're closing it out right now.
You have to.
Capture the Flag on a Biolab. Let's jump on board with the guys. Let's stay on board with Grenadas because I want to see, how they play this when they're in a kind of do or die situation. They need to come out strong. They need to come out with the victory here. Let's stay on board. Dagger, ASM1 in hand. Looks like he's got his overclock and stun grenades as well in his belt. He's going to go dashing. In fact, him and his teammates very, very fast.
Yeah, they're making this early push. This is not uncommon for Grenadas. And one thing about Dagger, if there's any player that needs to step things up, it's got to be him. He's such an in-game leader. He can really unite his team and get those rotations locked down. they can work the spawns to their advantage if they play this well, and it's got to be Daga who's flying the flag for Grenadas.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's the vocal leader as well. You know, we've seen him in the group play. We had a few spectating options, and he was very, you know, he's getting up, he was getting really, really loud, but also the communications were on point from him. So he's the vocal player from Grenadas. However, on Orbit, you will see the captain, Anti, currently kicking it off 2-1. However, Deswee with a flag in hand, 3-0, with a perfect start for Orbit right now.
Well, both flags have actually been pulled. Daga trying to do what he can to get that flag away from the enemy base. Is looking like it's going to be an open run for Deswee as the first flag capture does go in Orbit's favor.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the kill feed, that is all Orbit. The guys from Grenadas only getting 3 kills in total. Whether Orbit answering back with many, many more. Only a minute gone, and it looks like Robs is kind of double their lead. Currently 1-0, but I don't think there's anyone to stop Robs right now. Going for the second capture. He makes that. What a great start for the boys on Orbit.
And I'm going to highlight something here. Only 4 kills, made that 5 kills have been made by Grenadas so far. We have 2 players on Orbit that have 5 kills just by themselves, so completely being outslayed now, Grenadas, and it's really, really working against them. They're struggling so much.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for another flag pull. They are in the base of Grenadas. It's going to be a gun battle. You can see on your mini-map, Robs is going to get the better of them, but Mortal is saying no. He gets his first kill on the board, which puts him actually to the top of his team.
Yeah, they don't want to start overextending no Grenadas now, and as we said, Daga has got to keep his team composed here. He needs to be letting them know, look guys, we are 2 flags down, but there's still over 8 minutes left of this game. Let's just slow it down and let's play like we know we can.
Yeah, I mean, you know, going 2-0 down so early on and capture the flag when you need to win the map is so demoralizing. However, Mini and Grenadas themselves, they need to pick it up. 1-6, 1-7 right now. You know, in opposition, you've got Anti 7-1 with the flag in hand. Anti's had a phenomenal series.
Yeah, he's just played so consistently
3-0 well.
He's currently on a 7 streak as well, and that's 3 flags. We're not even halfway into the first half. Grenadas just need to wake up. I don't know what's happened, but they've really fallen apart. Orbit, on the other hand, have stepped things up like crazy. Anti 10-1 finally gets shut down from his 9 streak.
Yeah, 10-1, now 10-2. What a start for him. Kill death ratio up 5, has a flag capture to himself. However, 4-0, we can't even keep up with the amount of flags that's going to go in. This potentially could be 5-0, but Mortal and Mini combining them. Mini has got the flag out, but that looks like it's going to be taken in the hands of Daga, the only one alive. And to be fair, for Daga, the only one that's really kind of stepping up here.
Yeah, I've got to say something here as well. You know, we cast over teams from all across the world. We see lots of different styles of play, and so far, I've never seen such aggressive play from a country. Swedish players just throw themselves into challenges. It's just constant action.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen, you know, Uplinks finishing with 21 points. We're only, you know, 3 minutes into the game. The capture the flag is already 4-0 in favor of Orbit. This is a great play. Mortal answering back, does get a kill himself, has the flag in hand. He's going to come up face to face with Anti, I believe that is. His teammate are getting a few kills. Could that potentially be the point on the board? Yes, it is. Taking the deficit down to only 3 now for the guys on Grenadas.
And that's got to be a motivational boost for them. To go 4 flags down and not get anything from the first half, it will really be to their detriment. Mortalo now in circle, just trying to decide a route to push. And this is one thing that we've got to point out. They've got to be pushing the right way. If they start running around the map, going solo, they're going to fall apart. The only way to win capture the flag is to push as a team.
Yeah, looking at the minimap right now, Anti has made a really big pull. It looks like his teammates are in support, and on the minimap, all of the players from Grenadas are overextending. This is going to be another flag capture from Orbit, and this could be goodbye from Grenadas. 5-1 in only 4 minutes. We've seen 6 flag captures, Rel. This is incredible play from Orbit.
And not just 6 flag captures, but so many kills being made. I mean, we actually saw Anti, I believe it was 10-1 at one point. He's really slowed things down now, only 13-7, and he is getting shut down more. Grenadas finally finding the feet in this game somewhat, but it might be too little too late.
Absolutely, only 30 seconds left on the clock. I've got to say right now for Grenadas, they just need to slow down, regroup, not concede another flag, because if they do, it could be goodbye for them. They've made it all this way, all the way through open bracket, all the way through the pool play to potentially play the best Swedish team of Orbit. They are proving that right here with, you know, a 4 flag, you know, overs, you know, over a Grenadas here with only, you know, 5 minutes gone. Absolutely incredible.
This is it. Orbit were the only invited team by default to get their position here that have qualified to the semi-final. finals, which you've got to say is quite surprising somewhat because the invited teams, arguably the stronger ones, Orbit are proving that though here. The first half of Capture the Flag is going to end 5-1. Now that scoreline might seem huge at this stage.
Yeah.
But what you've got to understand is both of these teams now are swapping spawns. So that side where Orbit have captured 5 flags is now Grenadas. Grenadas have to do the exact same. They have to work those rotations well, support each other on the pushes, and designate that flag carry to one of their particular team members. And they could find themselves back in this game. It's a lot of work for them to do though, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing bigger, there's no mountain bigger to climb than a capture the flag when you're 4 flags down. You've only got 5 minutes. You've got to get a flag, you know, pretty much every minute. And if they want to win this, to take that extra one, to take 5 flags in a game is just, you know, unheard of. But Orbit have done it on the first side. Can Grenadas answer back and do it themselves? Mortal is the only one alive currently, 8 and 14 for his team. Does get taken down. Orbit are all over this. They're hungry for the win. Anti, we saw 47 kills on the hard point. Now 18 to 10 on this capture the flag, dominating the respawn game modes.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I'm somewhat disappointed by the performance by Maul. He's the Slayer for Grenadas. He's currently 8 to 16. He needed to be picking up that slaying work and making important kills if he wanted to lead his team to victory here. Both flags have been pulled though now. Daga and Dsui are making those pushes. It's Daga that's actually picking up the majority of kills here. He's got a little bit stuck. They might be able to secure this flag, but no, he's been denied.
Robs and Anti combining for 3 kills themselves. Are they going to get the return? Yes, they do. That goes in favor of Orbit. I've got to say, Daga, 17 and 15, holding his own. He nearly caught the flag himself, making the kills. I hate to say that his team needs to step it up. Mortal, Grenadas, Mini needs to get back in this game with only 4 minutes left on the clock and 4 flags to capture. Anti has got to extend that lead, Rel.
Yeah, well. Surprise, surprise, it's Orbit playing counter. This is their game strategy, and it works so well for them. We can see it here now, 6-1. Grenadas so close to actually securing a flag and making it 5-2. And, you know, within the space of 30 seconds, we see a 6-1 scoreline.
Yeah, and you know, I don't see this stopping here, Rel. I see more flags being captured. Pull after pull, we can see. This is incredible, but I've got to say, from the boys on Orbit, they're pretty much capturing the majority of their pulls. From the guys in Grenadas, they're pulling a lot, but they're not capturing. 4 down once again from Grenadas. Orbit capitalizes on that. I've never seen a capture the flag Biolab 7-1. I can say that with so much confidence. It is incredible, and they are not finished here with 3 minutes left to go.
And I've got to say, if Orbit do take this capture the flag, it's certainly looking that way. They've sent out a message that whoever they'll be facing in the grand final, they're showing their dominance at this game mode. It's now 8-1. Capture the flag still with 3 minutes left, and all hope is almost lost for Grenadas. Sure, still mathematically possible with the time left available on the clock.
Robs.
But we're going to have to see some ridiculous plays by them.
And ridiculous plays, as you say there. Robs picking up a kill with a melee. Maul trying to answer back. He's not giving up, even though it is near impossible to come back right now. Grenadas is still playing for that win, 8 and 23, and he needs to do so right now if there is any time to do it. Otherwise, he's going home, and we see Orbit progress to the grand final potentially.
Oh yeah, and you know what? To find yourself in a top 4 position of all the Swedish teams that have competed, it's still certainly a strong accolade and something to be proud of. So they're not going to go home with a heavy heart or disappointed, but all these teams are striving for that place to crown themselves as Nordic champions. You know, they want to go further than just Sweden. There is the bigger picture here. Here we go with Daga, 8-1 down, still playing with everything he's got, trying to get a flag capture out of this round.
Absolutely. Looks like he's just going to have to roam around this blue room because his flag has been taken by the boys on Orbit. Could that be returned? Yes, it does. He's going to go for the flag capture to take this lead slimly down to only 6 flag. However, with 1 minute and 50 left on the clock, that is so hard to do. I really don't see them coming back, but Orbit, you know, have just been so dominant right now. I mean, Anti, 26 and 16. I would like to know, just as a stat, and I'm no stat man myself, but what's his kill death ratio over this series?
Across the series, it must be something huge.
Ridiculous.
Because Search and Destroy, you don't particularly make that many kills in, but definitely the uplink and the hard point has been massive for him. You know, we saw him at the halfway mark on that hard point with 30 kills under his belt, so it did slow down as things kind of filtered out at the final stages of the hard point, but still putting up a strong performance throughout.
Yeah, but the worrying thing I would say for Orbit is, yes, so strong in capture the flag, so strong in uplink. Their hard point and Search and Destroy, they were terrible at Search and Destroy almost.
We've got to say it.
We have to. With 6-1, to be so dominant in the other game types, and then obviously fall at that Search and Destroy, maybe we will see them bounce back. Maybe it's a one-off.
Potentially, but this is the other thing to remember, Mo. Search and Destroy is 2 of the 5 maps, 2 2 of the 5 game modes that are played in the best of 5 series. So, that, you know, if they're going to be throwing the search and destroys, one single of the other objective-based game mode loss could cost them.
Absolutely. We see on your screen Dagger going in the last 40 seconds, does try and get a few kills himself. Gotta say Dagger, you know, and I know putting it out a couple of times during the game, but still holding his own, 24 and 24. It's not all about kills, but with 6 flags left to go, it is physically impossible to get this with only 25 seconds left on the clock. I've got to say, what a series we've just witnessed there. Orbit versus Grenada here at the Swedish Championships. Wow, what a series, Rel.
Well, this is it. I mean, Orbit were going into this so confident, and no doubt at the end of this series, they're going to be breathing a sigh of relief. They've heavily underestimated what Grenada are capable of, and they've got to be cautious of this as they go into the next game, because if they go into this with such confidence in that they feel it's going to be an easy game for them, it could really cost them in the grand final. But that is going to close things out as Orbit take it. I think they were shaken up by that first hard point, which was an hour victory. Certainly the search and destroy, we saw all of their heads drop. We saw Grenadas really pumped going into the final stages of the best of 5, but that will be it. Orbit do advance to the grand final, Momo.
Yeah, high fives all round for Orbit. As you can see them going over handshakes. That's what I like to see, some sportsmanship here in Sweden for the championships. They will progress onto the final. Unfortunately, we do see Grenadas, you know, it's potential. I think it was their first land for one of those guys as well. What a thing to come here. A top 4 placement already to fight their way through Open and also the pool play. But Orbit, what a special team we have.
This is it. I mean, Grenadas now can claim that they are